So put on your tartan trousers, scream 4 as loud as you can, and just go bananas. It's everybody's golf. It's the golf game. It's a bit like Monkey Ball. It's wacky, it's silly, and it will make you pull your hair out when you land in the water. But other than that, it's still a fun game to play. I got it for around about £15 in CEX, and if you can pick it up for around about that price, or say €15 or $15, it's a perfect little price for a perfect little game. So what I like about it, there's a few things I like about it. The first thing is that your customization of your character, you can make your character look as daft as you want. You can make them really tall, you can make them really small. There's the clothing. There's a load of clothing you can find and buy throughout the game. There's anything from cowboy boots to Santa hats to wrestling masks to tartan trousers. There's all sorts in this game, and you can mix and match them as well. So one of my friends used to go around the courses dressed with a Santa hat, a Mexican wrestler's mask, a Santa jacket, tartan trousers, and cowboy boots. Which, of course, an EA game won't let you do. So it's just outright daft. I know most folk don't play golf like that, but you can in this game, and that's why I like it. It's just something for everybody, something to bring out the person who likes to dress out and dress up rather, or you can just make your character look as boring and as golfy as you like with some basic kind of knee-length trousers, a shirt, a jacket, and a hat. So if you want to do that and be conservative, you can. So it's just one of these daft little things. Another thing I like about the customization is that you buy using in-game currency, which is just gold coins, which is what you usually find in silly games. Gold coins, you get them from just playing matches against the computer, playing the tournaments on the game. Each win gives you, say for example, for rank 1 you get 100 coins. Even if you finish last, you still get a couple of coins as well. So it's fine. Keep playing the game, you'll get coins, you'll buy your items, it's all grand. The other thing I like about this game is there are 5 courses to unlock, which is good, and they're all very varied. So you start off with the easy course called Eagle City, and that's in 2 parts. There's the in and there's the out. So the in is coming in towards you, so that's holes 10 to 18, and there's the going out, which is holes 1 to 9. They're all fairly basic. There's a few water hazards, some bunkers, and a few trees, but by and large, it's a very easy course to swing round, and it's a good place to start and to learn how to play. Then you move on to what's called the Alpine Forest. Then there's a beach level, there's a desert level, which has got a lot of hills and a lot of sand and a lot of out of bounds. So be prepared on that one to hit out of bound a lot. And then there's one that looks a bit like St Andrews called Imperial Gardens, which is the final level. So you unlock these by ranking up, and you rank up by doing tournaments against the computer. And as you do the tournaments, you pick up some experience. Once you get enough experience, you fight a boss. Once you've beat 3 bosses, you rank up. And you keep on going through the ranks. And usually when you rank up, you get a new course. So that's quite good. That there are so many, there's so much variety of courses. There's so many varied courses. That's what I was trying to say in this game, which is good because usually in golfing games, it's a golf course is a golf course is a golf course basically in these games, and there's usually a lot of them. So it's nice to have some variety. There's also 3 DLC courses as well. One's about £3, the other 2 are about 5. So that's not too bad. If you paid if you paid £30 for it, you're up to 15 more, you're up to 45. That's coming towards top tier AAA game price. It's a bit iffy. But if you've only paid £10 to £15 for it, an extra few quid here and there isn't too bad. There are a few other microtransactions, but I'll touch on that in a minute. So the other thing you can level up in this game is you can level up your clubs. Each club can be leveled up individually. So you can, if you use woods an awful lot, you'll level up just the wood club. If you use a lot of irons, you'll level up that iron quite quickly as well. So each club has its own stats. There's a power stat, there's a backspin stat, there's a backdoor stat, and there's a control stat. So power, as you would expect, is just how hard you can hit the ball and how far you can hit the ball. Control is for when you're actually playing onto greens and onto fairways. So it's how you control the ball through the air and how you control where it lands. And when that levels up, you have more control over the ball. Your backspin is just how much backspin you can put on the ball. And the backdoor is a rather strange stat. It basically means that when you put the ball in the hole from, say, on the fairway, say you chip the ball in from the fairway or you hit it in off the tee and get a hole in one, that's not a conventional way of putting the ball in the hole. That's kind of why they've called it through the back door. You can also level that up on the putter if you make a long putt. That's the stats in a nutshell for those. Each one has a maximum level as well. So power, I think the maximum level for that is 25. The other ones are 15. And the backdoor for the putter, the maximum for that's level 10. So as you play to begin with, you level them up pretty quickly. Ideally, if you want to get the ball further, you want to hit maximum power shots and hit a lot of them. If you like to just dink the ball around the course with your irons, then you'll probably get your control up quite quickly. So that's kind of how the clubs work. You have a standard set of clubs. Everyone has the same number of clubs and the same clubs. So there's a few irons, there's 3 woods, a couple of pitchers for getting you your chip-ins and for getting you out of bunkers, and you got your putters as well. So everybody gets the same clubs. You don't have to go away and pick your clubs at the beginning. It's nice and standardised, which is good. The CPUs are quite funny as well. They're not too difficult to begin with, and they steadily get harder as you play through the game. There's also a serious mode as well, which if you press square, that means you can make the computer opponents harder to play against, but you get more experience if you win, which is great if you want to level up quickly. The final bit of why I like this game is the little random things you can unlock in this game. And these are what's called the Tornado Cup, which has a little whirlwind around the hole. And if you land the ball near the hole, it can drag it towards the hole, and you can get your hole-in-ones, you can get your birdies, you can get your eagles a lot more easily. And sometimes if you're unlucky, it'll catapult you back out and away from the hole. There's the Mega Cup, which is a really big hole, which is supposed to make it easier for you to putt into. There's the Teeny Cup, which is a super small hole, which is meant to make it harder for you to putt into, which is great for if you're playing against a more experienced player. And then there's the piece de resistance of it all. There's on your multiplayer, there's what's called slot mode. And slot mode gives you this, let's call it a tombola. And that's the easiest way I can describe it, is a tombola or a bingo machine which spins through a bunch of perks or hazards and picks one out for you. or if you're too far behind, excuse me, then you get 2 of them. So so let's talk about this in a bit more detail then. So if you're playing against your friends and you've put on slot mode, if your friend is way out in the lead, the slot machine will probably more likely than not penalise them and make it harder for them to play. So it might rain, the wind might be stronger. There's the power gauge on the bottom that might speed up and slow down erratically to make it harder for them to actually hit a perfect shot. But conversely for you, if you're further behind, you might get some goodies. So you might get your Tornado Cup, you might get your Mega Cup, you might lose the wind, and there's a few other ones which I don't really want to go into at the moment. But that's just to give you an idea of what that does and how that works. If you are really far behind, then you get 2, and they get 2, so they can get doubly hampered. So they could have stronger winds. It could be raining. The little icon that tells you where the flag is could be gone from their gauge, and then you could end up with no wind in a Tornado Cup if you're losing. So it's a nice little fun thing that you can do to make the game a bit more wacky, a bit more random, and to level the playing field against better players. A nice little feature. It's something you don't usually get on a serious golf game. So that's kind of why I think it's worth getting this game. Like I said earlier, if you can get it for £10 to £15, 10 to 15 euros, 10 to $15, 30. If you're prepared to pay 30 for it, be warned, like I said, that there is the DLC, and that would add you up to 45, which is a bit steep. But if you can get it second hand, you're not going to get penalised for buying it second hand, as the DLC is bought from online. There's no codes that come with it. So that's what I like about Everybody's Golf. That's why I think you should go out and buy it. So if you agree, kindly list your agreement in the comments. If you disagree, likewise. If you like what I've done so far with my first 4 or 5 videos, then let me know. If there's any other games you think I should pick up and play and should talk about, then let me know as well. I'll try and do this as frequently as possible. So any input would be greatly appreciated. I don't have that many games at the moment, so if you think of a game that you would like to see me talk about, or you think I should play and discuss, then put it in the comments. I'm thinking people are going to say Dark Souls. Okay, cheers.